Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody. My name is Jason from Night Owls Media and For Love Films. And if you're joining us, you are joining our awesome Wedding Wednesday, our very first Wedding Wednesday. Today is January 6th, 2021. And the holidays have been so fun to me that I actually had to look at the date on my computer to verify what date it was. Now, this is our very first live stream, so if something is going wrong or if you're hearing noises in the background or something like that, please let me know because I'm learning too. I'm learning through this process of doing live content, and I really want to do a lot more for people out there. And if you know who we are, Night Owls Media, we do a lot of free educational content in both wedding planning and filmmaker aspects, from everything from how do I plan my wedding down to the finite details of what are the duties of the wedding party. And to the filmmaker aspects, I talk about the lenses I use, the gear, about why you should use things, yada, yada, yada. But you're here on Wedding Wednesday, so let's not talk about that. If I do veer off topic a little, it's because I want to have a open, fun, and honest conversation. This really isn't scripted. I have notes that I want to go over, but I really want to feel like I'm an approachable person. I don't want to feel like I'm some stuffy person making a video to disengage you that you're going to be bored by. So I want to have an open and honest conversation. That's why we also have our live stream, our live comments are open right now. So when it gets to certain parts in the episode, I really want to engage you guys and answer your questions. And if it's a big question, maybe we'll work on it next time. But for today, we are going to be discussing you're engaged. Congratulations. Now what? You got engaged either over the winter time during the holidays. It's very common and very normal to get engaged during the holidays. So I'm extremely excited for you. But now comes the whole fun plan of what the heck do I do now? And that's what we're going to be going over, the very basic, very touching on the glacier, the iceberg top that I'm going to help you walk through what you should be starting to do right now. So before I get into it, who am I? My name is Jason Osterkamp. I'm from Night Owls Media and For Love Films. I've been shooting wedding films for 12 years now and under the business for actually 11 years. And I stopped counting weddings when I hit 500 because I think past that you're doing what you're doing because you love doing it. It's not really a job anymore, and it's truly a passion for us to do this. So I love giving back, and I love working with couples who know about the wedding planning process because it helps everyone involved, and really it makes for a far less stress on your end if you're planning your own wedding. So today we're going to be talking about the starting of the planning and what you need to be doing right now. So again, thank you so much for being a part of this. Let's dive into you're engaged. Now what? You're engaged. That's awesome. That's step number one. You already did it. Congratulations. Don't rush this time too much. And I think that's really important. A lot of couples want to just dive into the wedding planning right away. And when you get engaged, you're living on cloud nine. It's super fun. It's wonderful to be around your person. And it's just, you have this like really kind of heartfelt time in your life. So enjoy that. Enjoy that with your person. Enjoy that with your family. Enjoy that with your friends. You got a ring, which I took off because I was under my desk connecting cables. You got a ring. Enjoy it. Look at it. If you didn't get a ring, that's totally fine too. It's about your wedding day. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about through this series is your wedding is your wedding. You don't have to do it because someone else has done that at their wedding. This is all about you. And it's a celebration of your love. So let's get back on topic. Look at your ring. Enjoy it. Think about the feeling that you get when you're with your forever person. and go around your house, enjoy this moment, dance with your dog and cat. And that may have been more on my end, but my cat's got a lot of dancing in when I got engaged, because I'm not gonna lie, I was super excited. Even though I asked it, I was still crazy excited. Then make sure to tell your friends and family. You might already have, but now's the time to actually reach out to tell your friends and family that this big thing has happened, and announce your engagement. Announce your engagement on Instagram, on Facebook. Let the world know that what your plans are, what this amazing event in your life is. Now, once you do this, get ready for a flurry of questions. The questions are going to come at you faster than you think you will. And the biggest one is going to be, when is the date? Well, now's the time you can start planning your wedding. My first advice is to get a binder. Yes, it's wonderful. We live in a day and age of digital technology, but having something written in front of you in hard copy there's just some kind of magic to it, to always have it right there at your fingertips, and it's really helpful in the planning process. So get a binder, and you're going to put all your notes in here, all the vendors you meet with, all the price points you find out, all your vision, all your dreams. And on this note, you're also going to start a Pinterest board. Guys out there who have never heard of Pinterest, or just say like, oh, Pinterest is for the ladies, that's absolute BS. It's an amazing, amazing tool. I think it's absolutely fun to build my Pinterest vision boards, and you will too. Once you start envisioning your wedding and what you want it to be, it just becomes this beautiful joined effort to create something together. So start a Pinterest board with aspects and colors and themes that you like. Now you're going to start setting a timetable and getting an idea of some dates. Now, always be flexible when you're thinking about your dates. Having that one date in mind will really come down to your venue. So be flexible with your dates. Have a few dates in mind that really kind of mean something to you, or that maybe you'll find a venue that you absolutely love and the venue trumps the date. So personally, for me, my wife and I got married on our first dating anniversary. So we started dating on April 4th and we got married on April 4th many years later. So it depends on what it is for you, but start having those dates in mind. And once you get those dates in mind, you can start looking at venues. And something else to bring up during this time frame is, a lot of people think they need to plan the whole wedding in a couple months. I'm telling you right now, the average wedding, the average engagement time is 15 months. And a lot of the couples that I work with usually plan about 18 months in advance. That's pretty normal, because I'm usually getting booked about 16 to 12 months before the wedding date. So once you have your timetable of some possible dates, you go look at your venue. And when you go to the venue, especially in this day and age, maybe you can't physically go, but most venues have a virtual tour or someone you can talk with. And once you get to the venues that you're liking, you're looking for the look of the venue, you're looking for the feel of the venue. It's very much like finding your first apartment or your first home, where you first walk into it and you just know this is the right one for you. And once you find the few venues that you really like and you feel really comfortable with, then you start looking at the dates they're available. And if they are available on the dates, then you start looking at everything else on the list, like pricing and amenities and everything else. So if you walk into a venue and you're not feeling it, even if they're open for your date, maybe you shouldn't go with it. This is your wedding. Be happy about it and be happy with the planning process. So once you find your venue, this is going to dictate your date, and this is going to dictate all the rest of your vendors that you're going to be going for after this. So all your planning is really hanging on the fact that you need a venue first, and that not only dictates the date, but it also dictates the location. Now, for us, when we film weddings, we film a lot of weddings out of state, so it's not a problem. We love to travel, but I know a lot of vendors don't. They like to stay closer to home. And that'll depend on what you want as well. So if you want a destination wedding, if you want to go off to another state and have this big adventure, do you want your vendors to be from your home area, or do you want to find your vendors closer to where the venue's at? So having your venue is very important for the date and the location. Now, your list of priorities is what's coming next. There's three aspects of your list of priorities. Start making a list of the things you absolutely want to have in your wedding. If you want a photo booth at your wedding because you just love photo booths, awesome, have that on your list. If you want a flower girl to walk down the aisle in front of you, have that on your list. And then you're going to have a list of some of the things you like, but you're not positive that you want them in there or not. And then the last list are the things you absolutely don't want. Like some couples it's becoming more popular now to not do a garter toss or the removal of the garter at the reception. So a lot of couples aren't doing that anymore. So it all depends on, again, what you want for your wedding day. And having those lists is going to really help you move forward into the next step, which is your budget. Sit down with your favorite person in the world and have an honest, open conversation about budget. The one thing you learn very quickly about weddings, especially planning a wedding, is the budget can grow very fast, very quickly, and very high. Once you start whittling that down, then you can start planning for your big day. But weddings are expensive. And I'll tell you right now, for years and years, you always hear about wedding tax, about if you hire a photographer for an event, they'll charge more if it's a wedding than if it's like a family service. Most of the vendors I've worked with my entire life don't do this. This is kind of a myth, but also understand that a family event isn't as dire and important as a wedding day. So there's a lot more work that goes into a wedding day, especially leading up to the wedding day and after the wedding day, than something like a reunion party or something like that. There is a lot more work involved on almost every vendor scale. So I need you to start setting a budget, what you are comfortable with. Now, I'm from the Chicagoland area, and the average wedding cost for a Chicago wedding is $60,000 to $70,000. Now, you're going to look online and see a lot of different numbers about what the average wedding cost, but take into account where you're at. What is your market? What city are you near? This really matters where you're getting married and how much it's going to cost. The average US wedding cost $40,000, but for Chicago, it's 60 to 70. There's a lot more that think the prices are much higher in the metropolitan areas. Other markets are higher, some markets are smaller, but there's a lot of things that go into your wedding day that you might not think about. Right now, I think you're living on cloud nine. You're thinking about all the amazing things that are going on in your wedding planning process. But are you thinking about linens? Are you thinking about a cake cutting fee or all this other things that you're going to slowly realize as the planning goes on? So have a very open and honest conversation with each other about your budget. And then you can ask your friends who have already been married about what range does a DJ cost? What range does an officiant cost? How much does a videographer cost? And don't be afraid to reach out to vendors and ask for their starting costs or their price guides or anything like that. Most vendors will have a starting price on their website, and this will kind of give you a starting point to how much things actually cost, not just what you think they cost. Don't assume. When I was first starting, a lot of people would reach out and say, well, we only want to pay $300 for a video, but that wasn't in the cards. So start interviewing your big five. After you have your venue, your big five are going to be the planner, your videographer, your photographer, your DJ or band, and caterer. These are the people that will book up very quickly. And these are the people that you typically have a very big attachment to about your wedding day. So if you love someone's photos and you love them, you really click with them, book them early. What I usually suggest is about 12 months in advance to book. I've been booked last minute. I know most vendors have been booked last minute, but the chances of booking someone you actually like closer to your date runs very thin. So look for people, and here's my best suggestion when looking for a vendor is, do you like their style? Do you like what they do? Do you like what they create, what they make? You do? Awesome. Then you talk to them. Do you click with them? Do you have a good fit with each other? Are you friendly? Do they understand your vision? Are they trying to help you more than just what they're doing? Are they going above and beyond? Do they seem awesome? For a photographer and a videographer, we're going to hang out with you all day. Do you want to hang out with that person all day on your wedding day? Then look into the price, because price, I know a lot of people's concerns about price and their budgetary aspects, but if you love something and you click well, the price can come. The price will be worked out. But this is your wedding day. This is one of those things that you're going to look back on and love and cherish. Do it right and be happy with your decisions. So again, the big 5 vendors that you need to reach out to as soon as your venue is booked is your wedding planner. And planners can be a full planner, like they'll help you with everything, or they can be a coordinator where they'll run the back end stuff up leading up to your wedding day and on your wedding day, so you don't have to be worried about that. And really, that's one of the biggest things I'll always suggest to any couple. Look into a planner, because the amount of stress they can help take away is immeasurable. It's amazing. So your big 5 are your planner, your videographer, your photographer, your DJ or band, and catering. So these are the big ones. And once you have these, planning feels a lot less stressful. It feels a lot more secure, like you're on the right path. And then you start having a little more fun, picking out all the smaller aspects that make your day so grandiose and huge. And this is the time when you start having fun wedding planning. It can feel a little stressful at first, but I promise it does get fun. You are planning this epic party that represents you too, and that's awesome. So what are you going to do to make it your day? Are you going to have a certain kind of color scheme that you really love? Are you going to have awesome invitations? Are you going to have favors that everyone goes wild for? What are you going to do? Maybe flambe, like some awesome dessert that comes out with fire. Maybe you'll have a fire breather at your wedding. That's becoming really popular, and it's really cool. Like, the people just stop and stare at this. It's amazing. Now, at this point, I really want to suggest make sure you download our free wedding checklist down in the description below. It's absolutely free. I'm not asking for anything. I just want to help you start your planning process. So make sure to download that PDF, and you'll have a nice basis to work from once you start planning. Also, on that note, I created a series called Vendors, where I went out and I interviewed the leading wedding industry professionals in our area, and I sat down with them to ask them questions, to answer all the questions that you have already going into your wedding planning process, but more importantly, to answer all the questions that you don't know you have yet. So it's a huge series. Not only is it on video, but then you can listen to our full conversations with the podcasts. And there is just a metric ton of amazing information here, from not only the full interviews with each person, from wedding dress sellers to photographers to planners to band leaders, so on and so on, but also there's finite detailed episodes where we talk about what makes a best man speech, how to give the best man speech, or what should you really expect for the morning of your wedding. A lot of people will tell you, oh, it just goes by in the blink of an eye, and that's true, but the video also goes into a lot of details of what you really should expect to happen on your wedding day. And it's absolutely free. There's tons of information. Go watch them. I absolutely applaud you. But guys, thank you so much for joining us today on Wedding Wednesday. It has been an absolute blast getting to talk about this stuff. I love being able to help and educate people, especially in a realm of something that I know. So make sure you like and subscribe. For every Wednesday, we're going to go live streaming and have a talk about this, about any kind of aspects. We're going to gear more toward videography from time to time. But if you have any questions in the meantime, I love going through the forums on wedding forums on Facebook, and I take notes about what people ask the most. And those are a lot of the topics that we're going to bring up. So join us every Wednesday here on Night Owls Media YouTube page. where we discuss Wedding Wednesdays. And if you're a fan of filming, if you're a fan of video and technology, join us on Fridays for Filmmaker Fridays. I went with the alliteration. I'm a fan. I was good in English. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, family, and anyone else who you think would get a kick out of it or get some help. And then what would you like us to talk about on this live stream? Comment in the comments below. It'll help us. It'll help us engage with more people. And the more you like us and the more you subscribe to us, the more we'll do more content like this. So again, thank you guys so much. I'm Jason from Night Owls Media and For Love Films. Thank you again. And I will, I'm still learning the whole streaming process. So I will play you out with some music, and that's exciting, right? I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you again.